Welcome back to our tutorial on reports and report parts. In this tutorial we'll be looking at working on building the body parts, and in order to do so we'll be talking about styles, and then into that we'll talk about headings and bullets and numbers. The last time I left you with a document that looked like this. We built a title page together, and now we are going to do a little bit more work as far as setting this report up. Before we get into that, I'd like to briefly talk about styles. Styles are preset formats. So it basically takes a block of text and applies a certain font, size, color, etc. to it. And in some cases it actually applies a title to it or a label to it, as far as the headings or subtitles or titles or whatever, and those things are found in the styles ribbon on the home tab. Notice also that is, if you pick text and you pass over those in Word, you get a preview of what that text would look like. So sometimes if your text is flickering a little bit as you're working through here, you can see what's going on. So the other thing about these styles is that these styles can be necessary to make other parts of Microsoft Word work properly. So for instance, tables of contents and tables of figures depend on style use of captions in terms of the table of figures and headings in terms of the table of contents. We should also add that there are certain style formats out there, like IEEE or MLA or APA or Chicago Turbine, and those style sets specify formats for how headings or bibliography entries or the actual even body text or title pages or something like that would look. And as you go through various courses, your instructor will tell you which title or which style to be using, and then you can use the tools that you learn in these tutorials to help you achieve those ends. So this tutorial doesn't actually give you a particular style, it just shows you how to apply or make the styles tools work for you. I'm going to continue working off that previous sheet that I had for my title page, and I am going to leave some space for my table of contents here, and then I'll carry on with the actual report body and materials later on. I'm going to put in a page break at this point, so I'm going to push my text to the top of the third page, and in order to put in a page break, you would hold Control and press Enter, or you could also go into, on the page layout tab, you put in breaks and you can click page break. So there would be two ways of putting in a page break. And now you can see that I'm on my third page. How to make a heading. Let's just put in a first level heading. Essentially, on the home tab, you pick the heading, you go over to the styles, and you click the style level button that you like, and you instantly have your heading set up. And it's just as simple as doing that. If you wanted a second level heading, you could also set that up, and notice as you start using more levels of headings, then the next level shows up. And that should give us sufficient to work with in terms of headings for right now. The next question would be, what happens if you don't like blue headings? So then we'll take a look now at quickly modifying the actual headings themselves. There's a couple options. You can pick the heading, change the text, the font and size. So let's go with Garamond and 24 and black, and then go over to your heading and pick modify, or sorry, update heading to match selection. and then from then on, any headings that you type in at heading 1 level will look like that. The second way of dealing with this, I should put in one more heading level 2 here for a minute just to demonstrate this better. Would be to actually go into the button. So right click the button you're interested in modifying, pick modify, and then in this dialog box you can again change the font size, type, color. The only thing that you should pay attention to here is automatically update, and that's a good idea to pick that one. And then notice as we were making those modifications, our headings inside the document changed automatically, and that would happen if they were on this page or in any other page inside this document. So it's a handy feature to use. You don't have to go into and individually modify each heading. So that was a little bit about headings and heading styles. So the next thing I'd like us to take a quick look at is bullets and numbering, and we could make a list of items for us to number quickly. You pick the text you wish to apply the bullets or numbering to, and you would simply pick whichever style you like, and that generates a numbered list. A numbered list would be used when items need to be applied in a certain order, so when you're following directions to make something or that sort of idea. An unordered list or a bulleted list is done when things don't need to be in a particular order. So perhaps for a grocery list or something like that, you could use an unordered list, and then the bullets just go to show that you have those items there. So that's our tutorial on using headings, modifying headings, and using numbering and bullets. I encourage you to go to a tutorial online that I specified earlier in my notes sheet for modifying and applying different formats of bullets and numbering. Thank you for watching.